All right, welcome to the St. Petersburg Real Estate Deals of the Week for April 25th. We've got three, I think, fantastic houses. I say fantastic because I feel like prices are starting to become, more reasonable, or at the very least, sellers are starting to respond more quickly to market signals and adjust their prices accordingly, which is always a good thing when you go into a negotiation and you don't have a stubborn seller on the other side. So let's jump right in. I'm going to look at this house here. It's at 5020 16th Avenue North. It's in, I'll say this a million times, one of my favorite neighborhoods, which is Distant Heights. Distant Heights is kind of in the center of St. Petersburg, and you can see with the little orange diamond here. But, I like to, especially if your budget is in the, say, in the threes to the sevens, I like to stay in this little box here. And the reason for that is because once you start getting into sort of the coast on the bay side, which is Snell Isle and Old Northeast, not so much Old Northeast, but Old Southeast, and then of course with the beaches, you're going to be for the most part in a flood zone. And in order to get an elevated house, you're going to need to be sort of in the around $1 million range. I mean, that's not a hard and fast rule, but if you're getting out closer to the water and you're in a non-elevated house and you're in a flood zone, it's something to consider. So this is a Distant Heights neighborhood, and let's jump into the pictures. This is a three-bedroom, 2.5, 1,376 square feet. And one of my favorite things about this house is this price right here, $312 a square foot. Now, this is not, it's not perfect on the outside. Obviously, it could use a little TLC on the outside. I am not super crazy about all of this concrete up front here, to be honest with you. I would get rid of that and do some landscaping, put maybe a sidewalk from the driveway, and it's got a circular driveway in the front. You can see there's some, sort of water stains over here on the wall. So it needs a little TLC. But, for the smart enterprising buyer, these are the houses that you want to look at. Assuming there's no sort of wood rot here and the house is otherwise in good shape, this is not terribly expensive to do, okay? And when you jump into the pictures, you'll see that the inside of the house looks really nice. This is solid surface counters. Those cabinets, they're kind of a shaker style cabinets, look new. I mean, they're not super, super high end. The appliances here, they might be a couple of years old, but it looks like nice laminate wood floors. Big open living room. Do me a favor, make a comment, if you would, about this wall color, because I will tell you, this is like my least favorite wall color. It's like a taupe tan. And I know it's like people want to go for a little color, but it just sort of dulls. I'd rather see a bright white or maybe something a little more trendy in the gray color scheme, but not a big deal, obviously. Walls can be painted. So nice big open living room. And you'll notice there's a dining area here that it's not huge, but you could certainly get a table there for sure, which is nice. It's got a nice big open feel to it. There's your laundry room and the primary suite with the, kind of a small vanity there. It's not, tiny vanity really. Everything looks nice and clean. And then in the back, you've got this nice big slab here, which you could, create some sort of pergola situation here if you wanted. And just a quick street view so you can see that this is a nice quiet street. Very mature neighborhood. So what I like primarily about this house is, a couple of things. First of all, we are now at 77 days on the market, which you can see that 77 days on the market. So once you get past that 2-month range, it's kind of put up or shut up. The market has looked at the house and said plenty of time to look at the house. Obviously, you're not getting acceptable offers at whatever price you're at. So I'm not saying you're running into desperate sellers at this point, but you're going to be looking at a seller that's probably more amenable to a below asking offer. Now, the recent price drop on this house was about a month ago. So sort of methodically. The house went up on February 7th, and then a little less than a month later, they lowered it 20 grand, or almost 25 grand, or actually exactly 25 grand. And then almost a month after that, they lowered another 20,000. So they seem to be each month going around 20,000. But I'm telling you, at this price here, at this 312 a square foot, you're getting into really almost pricing for a fixer-upper. So, you know, if this is your budget and you need that third bedroom or want that third bedroom, want that full second bath, you get an extra half bath as kind of a bonus here. You're in a non-flood zone. You're right in the center of St. Pete, 10 minutes to downtown. You know, the crime score here is about 3. I think 3 or 4. Let's just double check that. I don't want to. So the crime score here is a 3, which is low. Anything under 5 or 5 or lower is good. You're not in a flood zone. You know, you're at a really good price. Yes, it could use little TLC on the outside, but this would definitely be something that you might want to look at. If you needed that 3.2, decent square footage, you know, 429, you go in at, say, you know, 410 even. I bet you might even get some action at that price. This is a really good house for that. So I would say if you're in the market, put this one on your radar, get out and see it this weekend. Let me know what you think also, and let's jump over to house number 2. All right, so here's house number 2, and it is at 5529 11th Avenue, also in the Distant Heights neighborhood. And if you watch my videos, you'll get used to seeing a lot of action in Distant Heights because it is, you know, I'd say a neighborhood you can't go wrong in. Let me just put it that way. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods. Let me zoom out here a little bit so you can see. This is kind of on the more western edge of Distant Heights, but it's still within that sort of box that I like, which is the no flood box inside of that yellow. Once you get out closer to the coast, you get into the floods a little bit more, and you want to be in an elevated house. But right here in the center, this is a good place, especially if your budget is anywhere from the 3s to the, say, 6s or even 7s. Some great neighborhoods here. So what do I like about this house? This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 1,433 square feet. And this is at 324 square foot. Man, I'm telling you, when you get into the, you know, under 350 a square foot for a move-in ready house, that gets me excited. This is like more of a 2018 renovation, so it's not a brand new renovation, but it does have 4 mini splits. So you, and a mini split is the smaller unit that you see outside, and each room has its own blower. So basically, you can control the climate or the temperature in each room. So that's nice. But so it's got the whole house generator, which is nice. And then this is what I like too. It has a new sewer line, water line, impact windows, and electrical panel. So, you know, for older houses, especially the electrical panel, some of these houses are built 60s and 70s, they're just overloaded. We didn't have as many gadgets back then, so you start overloading circuits and you run into problems. So that has been updated. Impact windows are fantastic, not just for hurricanes, but for noise. I mean, they're not completely noise proof, but they cut down the outside noise quite a bit. So that's nice. There's no flood insurance here. The only thing I'll be honest with you is I'm not crazy about this house. And let's just go through the pictures. Curb appeal is pretty nice. I mean, very nice landscaping up front. I mean, the kitchen is beautiful. You know, shaker cabinets, the gray, you know, looks like, you know, kind of upgraded appliances there. Big living room. And here's the one thing that I'm not crazy about. Let me see if I can highlight it here. So here's the main bathroom. And then you've got bedroom 1 and bedroom 3 here. And then I guess this would be bedroom 2 over here. Not close to a bathroom. The second bathroom is in the garage. You know, and it is quite small, as you can see, 3.5 by 6 feet 4 inches. So, you know, that's not ideal. It's what you see a lot in, you know, sort of these older houses that were built as 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,100 square feet. And so a lot of people have added a bedroom and bathroom in the garage, or they've simply added the bathroom in the garage, primarily because in a lot of these houses, that's where the laundry is. And so you've got all these sewer hookups and water hookups there. So, I mean, not the end of the world, but not ideal uh, that you really only have one main bathroom in the house. So let's keep going through the pictures and let's see what else we can spot. I mean, giant backyard, just absolutely giant. Two nice storage sheds back there. I mean, landscaping is really nice, very mature. And you got your full one-car garage. And a nice little front porch. And of course, flood factor minimal here. Crime situation also a 3 out of 10. And looking at the pricing right here, we started at 510. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 price cuts, very methodical. 12,000, and another 12, and then 5, and then another 5,000. At 324 square foot, I mean, I'm telling you, this is in the range where if you are looking for something in this size range, 3.2, the second bath in the garage, not great, but at 324 square foot, to me, this is, is something absolutely to look at. So if you'd like to see this one, let me know. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. We'll schedule a showing to see this. I think this one will probably go relatively soon, maybe in the 450 range, would probably get snapped up pretty quickly. So that's house number 2. Now let's take a look at house number 3. All right, so this is house number 3, and this one is priced a little higher. It's $599, but it is 1,778 square feet. This is a big house, brand new construction, and look at this price here at $337 a square foot. Now, I just started looking at this house, so I don't even remember offhand, but I can almost guarantee that they must have had a couple of price cuts because you're not seeing builders build new construction for $337 square foot. So let's just jump real quick down to they just went on the market yesterday. So that to me is a really, really aggressive price. I mean, I really like that. Now, this house is not in Distant Heights. It's in a neighborhood called Harris Park. So just to give you some idea where we are, it is still within the box. The last 2 houses that we looked at were in this range, or in this area right here in Distant Heights. And this one is in Harris Park. So you got pretty quick access to 275. You can see that's where that orange little diamond is there. So to get over to Tampa, you just jump on 275. You're to the airport in 30 minutes without much of a problem. Obviously not during the rush hour. And then downtown, pretty short drive, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then out to the beaches is about 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, give or take. So still a really good central location. A lot of nice houses in this area, a lot of renovation activity. Let's just look at the pictures. There's not going to be much to talk about as far as upgrades, obviously, because it's brand new construction. It's got a nice sort of bungalow feel with this kind of cedar shake elevation in the front, which is nice. Nice little front porch, beautiful pictures. I mean, real modern kind of feel on the inside. Big open living area with dining. I mean, very, very thoughtfully laid out. I mean, giant primary bedroom. I mean, that is huge. I mean, that's probably a queen or king size bed. I mean, look at the amount of space that you have even here. I mean, between the bed and if you put a TV up here, I mean, that's enormous. Double vanity in the shower, which is nice. Big walk-in closet. Second bedroom, normal size. Second bathroom, normal size. Inside washer. So here's the only real issue with this house. And I mean, for a lot of people, it's not an issue at all. This is tiny, 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 tiny backyard. There's enough room out here. If you have a dog, kind of a little bit of a dog run, this is not a very big back porch here. So, they got it set up okay, but maybe that's 10 feet between the back. So no yard maintenance really to speak of, and you could certainly, kind of spruce this up back here, maybe put some pavers and kind of sort of extend this feel so that you'd have a sort of a nicer setup in your backyard. I mean, not the end of the world, because I'm telling you again, the last house that we saw was only 320 something a square foot, and it was an older house. And here we are now at 337 a square foot. So they're coming out of the gate very, very aggressive on this. And the only thing we didn't look at, I think, was the street view. Okay, so nice quiet street. I thought maybe it would be up against a busier street, and I don't think there's any issue there. So new construction under 600,000 in Harris Park, which is no flood, center of St. Pete. You get a 3.2, almost 1,800 square feet for, I mean, I don't want to, be over the top here, but 337 a square foot for new construction is crazy to me. That tells me that they are ready to deal on this house. So, when you buy an older house, you obviously kind of factor in a couple of percentage points of the purchase price for maintenance every year. On new construction, you can back that down, not to zero. It's not that things can't go wrong with a new house, but obviously everything's new. You're not going to be worried about things like AC and plumbing and all that kind of stuff. So this is a really nice price, a nice looking bungalow in Harris Park for under 600,000. Let me know what you think. Make a comment. If you're looking for a house anywhere in St. Petersburg, Florida, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. I'd love to set up a showing for you for any of the 3 houses that we saw here today or any other house that you might want to look at. My name is Steve Reynolds, and I'm a broker associate realtor here in St. Pete. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.